Welcome to the January 26, 2021 City of Broussard Council meeting. Please silence your cell phones, and if anyone from the audience would like to make a comment on an item listed on the agenda, please fill out a blue card located at the back of the room and turn it into our city clerk. Each speaker will be given a maximum of 5 minutes. We'll now open our meeting. Please stand for the pledge. Councilman Garrett, would you lead us in prayer?
We, the members of the Broussard City Council, beg of thee, Almighty God, to enlighten our minds so that our work will be just and fair in all things. Give us the courage and strength to fulfill our duties according to the laws of the land, and fulfilling also thy holy will on earth and in heaven. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Item 2.1, acceptance of the minutes of the January 12, 2021 meeting. Do we have a motion to accept? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yay.
At large?
Yay.
Motion carries.
Item 3.1, resolution number 648-21, authorizing and approving the renewal contract with Acadian Ambulance. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move.
Second.
Our presenter tonight is Mr. Troy Guidry with Acadian Ambulance. Welcome, Troy. Please come up here to the podium.
First of all, my name is Troy Guidry. I'm the regional vice president for this area, and Adam Olivier is the operations manager who oversees the day-to-day operations in Broussard and the surrounding area. First of all, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for entering into a partnership a year ago with us to assure and to work on our response times. And, you know, through the year, we have met or exceeded our response times each and every month. We've had a total of 1,051 emergencies in Broussard from February to the end of December, and we had an average response time of 8 minutes and 1 second, which I think is I think we have a success story. We started here, we got, and this is where it all started, and we do appreciate the partnership that we have with not only the mayor, the council, but with the fire department and the police department, and we say thanks for all the help. Any questions, Mayor?
Troy, just to kind of expand on what you said, you're absolutely right. We signed a contract a year ago. It's ending now. At that time, the average response time for an ambulance was at the 12-minute marker, roughly. Our agreement was to save at least 2 minutes, and your commitment was to put more resources in the city of Broussard to bring that number down by 2 minutes. And you know, I'm happy to report today that your company has been able to bring it down by 4 minutes per call. That's the average. There's some documentation in the packet for the council that was sent out to sort of put all that together for them, and you know, the reports from your side. I haven't heard any complaints from our police department or fire department. I think the relationship's been good. So thank you for that service that you're providing the citizens of Broussard, and you know that every second counts when you're in your business. So we appreciate what you're doing here.
We appreciate the support and the respect that you have for our company, and we look forward to continuing to improve. This year has been one for the books. Everybody knows we've had a pandemic, we've had multiple hurricanes, and we've continued to try to make our marks, and every month we send the reports to the mayor, the fire chief, and the police chief, And if there's any incidents that happen during the month, these guys will let me know. And I'm proud to say there has been none since February that I've heard from the fire chief or the police chief. So that just goes to show me that we have a great partnership with these guys, and we want to live up to our commitment we brought here a year ago. So, any other questions? I'll be happy to answer any questions. If not, we do appreciate the confidence that you've shown in our company and our partnership here with Broussard.
Thank you both for coming tonight and presenting to the council. Tina, is there any public comment?
No public comments.
Council discussion?
I just know it's a good peace of mind having you guys here. As with our police department, fire department, I include you in that. And I appreciate y'all being in Broussard.
Thank you so much, Mr. King.
For the people of Broussard, from my district as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no further council comment, do we have a motion to call for the question to accept?
Question.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large,
Yay.
District 1,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 3.2, resolution number 653-21, a resolution agreeing to accept ownership of whatever rights the state of Louisiana through DOT may own, with the exception of any and all mineral rights in and to the following described property, and agrees to accept all future rights, obligations, and liabilities included but not limited to all future operation, maintenance, and repairs associated therewithin, for its operation and maintenance as a city street subject to the conditions of the agreement for Segment 1, portions of LA 182 West Main Street from South Bernard to Clara Street. Segment 2, portions of LA 182 West Main Street to East Main Street from Clara Street to St. DePorres. Segment 3, portions of LA 182 East Main Street from St. DePorres Street to Albertson's Parkway. Segment 4, State Route 731 in its entirety from US Highway 90 frontage road on West 2nd Street to the intersection of East 2nd Street with State Route LA 182 known as East Main Street. And Segment 5, State Route LA 731 spur known as North Morgan Street from LA 182 Main Street to the intersection of 2nd Street at 1st Street. Do we have a motion to approve? Our presenter tonight is Mr. Joseph Marino with the Planis Design Group. Joseph, welcome. Joseph's here to give us a rundown of this resolution in agreement with the state.
Test. Thanks, Mayor. Appreciate everything. And I know it's a tongue twister to try to explain all that, but simply what we have here, there was a previously agreed upon cooperative endeavor agreement between City of Broussard and DOTD. And this resolution is simply amending that previous agreement simply by changing the language associated with segment 3, which is LA 182, known as East Main Street, to transfer to City of Broussard. So what that is I'm getting, no, I misspoke. So first I want to say segment 5 is Morgan Street, the LA 731 spur. So the change here is back in September of 2020, the city met with, along with us, met with DOTD and spoke about, in lieu of DOTD making repairs to LA 731 spur, which is Morgan Street, that Broussard would accept that road on an as-is basis. So the anticipated repairs that DOTD was going to make to Morgan Street, were that cost estimate of $150,000 was going to be transferred to the Main Street Phase 3 project, which is segment 3. So it was determined by City of Broussard that the Morgan Street was in pretty good repair, pretty good condition at that point, and didn't really need much repair, and they were okay with that. So they preferred to take that money and move it into the Broussard Main Street Phase 3 project. The other change essentially is segment 3, which is from Main Street at St. DePorus to Albertson's Parkway. Basically, instead of DOTD describing a design for that roadway to be a 3-lane roadway, kind of cookie cutter road, was to basically allow for the city of Broussard to design it as they see fit. And that would basically be designed to accommodate the envisioned master plan design with the new right-of-way section. So beyond those two items, everything else is the same as originally agreed upon.
I just want to clarify something with Joseph. So when you mention Morgan Street, it's a small section of Morgan Street from 2nd Street to the intersection at Main.
That's correct. It's not
It's
the
only
entire
that section.
That's
And
right.
we had Mel and his group look at it to see if the drainage improvements were needed, if road improvements were needed there, to make sure there wasn't something we're missing, and they reported back that we feel good. The only thing that's there that really needs improvement is we have some crumbling sidewalks, which the city felt would be better served by us doing it than asking DOT to come in and do a state project just on our sidewalks. Right. We would handle it in a much more delicate way. The 731 spur, which is 2nd Street. Am I saying that correctly?
No, spur is Morgan. The 731.
The 2nd Street section, let's call it, is currently being improved today by DOTD.
That's right.
So it didn't make sense to have overlapping projects pointing at the same area.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So basically, what it comes out to be is the original transfer credit that was going to be applied to Main Street Phase 3 of $2.8 million increased by $150,000 to $2.9 million. Phase 3, which is segment 5 per the. No, it's segment 3 per the map.
There are really 2, right? Yeah, we moved it to 3 because it's downtown. Segment 2 is downtown. Am I understanding correctly?
Section 2 would be downtown, basically.
That's the red line, right? And then the blue line is nothing to do with the blue line. This right here is segment 2. That's with downtown, correct?
Segment 2 could be. This could be downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phase 2, segment. Okay. So we'll move that money towards segment 3, phase 3.
That's correct.
Okay.
All the money, so it's not just the $150,000 associated with the repairs to segment 5, which is LA 731 spur, but it's all the road transfer credits associated with all segments 1 through 5, which total $2.9 million, which would be applied to phase 3.
And delivered to the city in the form of construction.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. And those funds, the way I read it, have to be utilized for construction, for the project. And if the project comes under budget, then the funds will need to be applied to a different project elsewhere. So
we would need approval on the council. The action is for the council to approve that they agree with these changes, and then we could execute an agreement. I'll sign and execute the agreement with the state if the council so agrees.
Yes, it's basically signing this resolution, amending the original one.
Amending the original contract.
Mm-hmm.
Tina, is there any public comment?
No public comments.
Is there further council discussion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Question.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large,
Yay.
District 1, Yes. District 2,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 3.3, resolution number 655-21, authorizing and approving the renewal of the garbage contract with Waste Management. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move.
Second.
Tonight, we have presenting to us Mr. Donald Haynes with Waste Management. So currently, the city is under contract with Waste Management for our garbage service. Our contract is ending. There are two choices in front of the council tonight: to go to full public bid, to try to get to the point of awarding a new contract, or to sign a new contract with Waste Management. And our presenter tonight is Mr. Donald Haynes with Waste Management.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for having us, and we appreciate your business for more than a decade. We want to present the benefits of a new waste contract. We're able to spread the cost of doing business over a 5-year period. This new agreement has some improved language in it, recycling protection language. You have recycling services right now, which is 1 time per week of a 64-gallon cart. That particular language protects you in a pretty volatile market right now. Same service days. We have not increased your price in 2020 or 2021. In Goodwill, we know that it's a tough financial time for every municipality out there. And we have had some concerns with council members about cart placement, cart replacement policies. We are leaning on training. We're training better. We're improving those processes, and we're also improving the coaching that we're doing at the employee level with each employee. Every customer call that comes in is recorded by the city, and most of your calls come into the front office with the girls, which have become quick friends of ours, and we have a great working relationship. We try to handle every single call that comes in a swift manner, so that it does not grow into a public concern. Along with that, we have a new cart reserve policy, which per the request of the mayor, we wanted to leave 20+ carts with the city for any sort of emergency call, walk-in request. A new person moving into the city, they can get a cart when they come sign up for utilities. We would just fulfill that cart reserve periodically. We'd probably check in with you once a quarter to see if you need more, and we would just increase the house count if those carts get depleted, that reserve that gets depleted. New pandemic language, which is something that we really didn't think about in the past in our contracts. Obviously, we've gone through COVID and we're still going through it. This pandemic language allows you to expand your force majeure policy, meaning that us as a contractor, if it becomes an overwhelming job for us, we're able to tell you that we can't complete the job, and you would release us from the contract, and it would be vice versa for the city as well. If you get into a financial burden, you're able to release yourselves from the contract if it comes to that point. We haven't ever seen anything like that happen outside of, for the city of New Orleans, and during Katrina, they had to implement that. As you know, that was a pretty bad situation. And we are going to be a field sponsor for the Broussard Sports Complex. And I'll welcome any questions, and we hope that you accept our approval tonight. And anything that there is an area for improvement, we do heavily promise that we are going to make good on that.
Dan, I got a question on the no price increase with 2021 and 2022. If there is one, what would we be potentially looking at?
So your price increase is based on consumer price index, which we have not seen go above 3% in the recent years. That is all depicted by the Bureau of Labor, U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and that's how we keep up with the price of goods and services. And it's based on the index of water, sewer, and trash.
I'd like to say a few words. This is 1 year
of complaints to date that was documented. I've called you on the phone a few times and didn't get any results. So this is what resulted from it. One time I complained to you over the phone, and the next week I got about 600 gallons of the most vile, nastiest water dumped directly at the door of my shop. I've heard from other councilmen that's happened in town too. That's not acceptable. I haven't had any response from your calls. This doesn't seem to have any response. We still have complaints. And the only power really that a councilman has is we can ask all we want. But until we pass a resolution or ordinance or amend the ordinance or a resolution or a contract, we have no power except by money. So what I'm doing, I'm going to suggest that we do it by money. Every 20 pages is 20 complaints. We'll put a clause in the contract that every so often that we get as many complaints as whatever, we can always agree on a number. That each month, and once we reach that number, we'll get a credit for the next month for a couple of $1,000. It's the only way I can see to resolve this problem is hitting it where it hurts in the pocket of y'all. Because our citizens deserve better, much better than we're getting. We like y'all. I don't want to run y'all out of town. We like your company, but we want it done right. That's all. You know. Old people can't pick their cans out the ditch. People can't stop on Morgan to take their can out the driveway. This traffic's pretty heavy on Morgan. Huval Street, about 2 months ago, every can, both sides of the street was in the road. You couldn't pass one car down the middle. And that's just a few months ago. So this is 1 year of complaints. If we wouldn't pass a resolution or amendment to that contract or something like that, I would table this and say, come back in 60 days and we're going to start counting all over and see what happens in 60 days. What y'all think? There's no other way to handle this. I mean, I've tried personal contact. That's just waste management. Yeah, that's all emails. That's off of emails. That's documented. This is all.
So, Councilman, there's a new, at the last one, the new policy.
This is what we pay them to.
Listen, I'm talking about the pandemic language. Mr. Gerald, correct me if I'm wrong. So you're asking us to revisit. We have a right to get out of this contract.
That's right. That's why I would say come back in 60 days.
So we agree to move forward with the understanding that somebody needs to police this, and if it's not to our satisfaction, give it Daniel, and we move on to the contract, do something different.
Something. We have to do
So
something.
at this point, my suggestion would be move forward with the understanding of your concern, and let's monitor for the next 60, 90 days. Hope that stack isn't as big, and hopefully he gives the message, and it hits home somewhere.
That's all we want. We just want y'all to get the message, and we don't want to have to pick up trash after y'all pass picking up the trash.
Understand,
And
Councilman.
I mean, like I said, we've had y'all here for a decade, like you say. It works good, but it just needs to be tuned up a little bit.
Understood. And there's always room for improvement when it comes to service. These policies that we've implemented where we're coaching, we're giving guys 2 chances. You get a coaching opportunity once to address the problem, because no one can improve unless they know that there's a problem, much like we're doing tonight. You're telling me about that. Now, I will ask, that 1,000 stack of sheets
I was
of paper,
surprised.
These are complaints that weren't resolved?
Well, they're evidently not, because I still see trash flying out the back of the truck and trash cans thrown in the ditch. My trash can was rolled in the ditch the other day. I quit complaining, really.
Just for clarity's sake, David asked we have 2 clerks that work in the department that would handle these kind of utility calls.
This is where that
To
information.
print out when they were contacted about something. So to say they weren't resolved would not be fair or accurate. This would be any sort of
Right.
Any sort of
complaint,
service call.
question that came in concerning waste management.
Okay. Just being clear, because I know that's a huge problem if we were not resolving it in a swift
For
fashion.
clarity's sake, David, can you, I just want to make sure that you're impressing on Donald where you feel, or any of the council members,
Well, I mean,
where the improvement can be. I know I heard you say cart placement. Carts being left too close to the road. I've heard our chief
in the road.
say that, send some emails, so cart placement. I heard you say that they dump the trash and there still might be a little bit of trash on the ground.
Yeah.
Something like that. Am I missing anything at all? Because I want Donald to hear it clearly.
Well,
Because he's gonna be back in 60 days. You're asking him to come back.
right,
So
if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
you can have that conversation on, have we had an improvement since
We'll
then?
know then.
I
And
think
then
I'm understanding where you're
we'll
driving.
start from, I'll tell the girls to start from scratch, and we'll see how big that stack is.
So, and I want to be clear, there are provisions in our contract for any sort of complaint if it's not handled within 24 hours or within the 24-hour business day while we're in operation. There is a fining measure that is in this contract, in this new contract. And that's protect us and you, because we have to be obviously liable for our actions.
I want to make sure, these inter-office memos, I want to make sure he's getting all this. Have you gotten these complaints?
I think these were all emails.
So, and that's from any sort of complaint. Yes, we do get copied on them, and we address them usually immediately if we can, or if it's beyond business hours the next day.
Because I gotta tell you, my personal experience, if I call him on a weekend or something, I personally get a response, I'll have to run. I appreciate what he's done. I just appreciate what he's done, responding to what my needs are. Every time I call, he returns my call. But I wasn't aware we had this much. I just want to make sure that's being forwarded to him.
But also, Kenny, we don't know if that stack, like you said, did we fix the problem? Did they fix the problem? So we could have that stack that are complaints, but let's put another stack where problem solved. And look at the two stacks, right? Because this is all complaint. That's what I'm saying. He wants to give it some time. Move forward. All right, move forward with it. And then if we have an issue, then we need to revisit. But I think 90 days is more accurate because by the time you get the contract in place, he's aware. Give him 30 days to get his guys in tune.
That's right.
This is where we're going.
Easy going. I can take 20, 30, 40, 60 days.
Whatever
it takes to get the problem solved. That's my point.
And the biggest problem is the placement of the trash cans.
And trash, that one is.
On the side.
Fell out the truck, they'll pick it up.
Okay, and I can assure you, Councilman, I humbly ask you to push forward with approval and have confidence in us to keep these policies and implement a more strict training policy for your concern. This is not necessarily a problem everywhere. There are employment challenges with COVID. COVID has presented a lot of challenges, and to give you perspective of that, we've added a truck to the city. We usually run the city's garbage with 2 trucks with 2 men on the back, picking up a divided amount of homes per day for that one day of collect. For that, you get 2-day weight collection, but it's Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday. We have added a truck, so each one of those trucks has one guy because of COVID protocol, and as you can imagine, that one guy is responsible for picking up 750 homes. That one man on that one day. As I don't know if you all have ever lifted garbage or slung garbage. I've done it as an employee experience. It's a tough job, and to do that first one the same way that you did the last one is a tough thing to do. But we are pushing that training forward to make sure that these guys are doing it, and we're giving them relief. We're bringing helpers out to the actual route to give him a break, and dividing up that workload. We only carry one temp guy, and most of these guys are full time. You have their jobs in your hands right now. Those trucks, every one of those guys, and actually 4 of our in-office employees, including my boss, Leah Talbot, the route manager, Daryl Beecham, Jack Quinn, all live in the city of Broussard. These guys' careers are in your hands, and I humbly ask you to give us time to improve, and we do ask for you to move forward favorably.
Donald, just for the record, if you could clarify a couple of things. Just remind us how much you're servicing the city of Broussard, what's in our contract, how many households you're servicing.
We service about 5,000 households. It's about 4,890 homes in the city limits. And we're picking up all of that within the span of 4 days. So that's garbage for 4 days and 1 day of recycling, where 2 trucks pick up all the recycling throughout the city.
And each household gets 2 service days for garbage?
That is correct.
Correct. So we get the contract, again, we'll have 2 days and 1 day for recycling.
That's correct.
And our current rate is not going to change. No increase last year, no increase this year.
That's correct.
That's where we have been. David is making a good point. I've heard that point from a couple of, or Councilman Bonet, excuse me, from a couple of other councilmen. They do want improvement. I want improvement on those particular things that are being identified tonight. If, you know, so you're hearing it, you're willing to come back in 60 or 90 days to sort of address it again.
Absolutely.
And, okay, I just wanted clear for the record.
How can we address it today? We're gonna give them a 90-day extension on the contract, and come back in 90 days? How we word it?
I'll say we move the contract forward. Move the contract forward. You got language in there. We can go back to, with our attorney, go back if we have an issue after 90 days that we do not like what's going on. At that point, we make a decision. There's already language in there. Out in the contract. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt to move forward and improve their services. And if they don't, then we'll take action.
Donald, I believe you have a
Yes.
co-worker
Sorry,
with
this is
you?
our Senior District Manager.
Yeah, Jack Quinn, District Manager here in Lafayette, been working in Lafayette for about 12 years. So, you know, I see the pile, you know, really love to dig in on it, you know, really find out what it is, right? Because I'm surprised, you know, and if we really had that many unsatisfied constituents, I'd be willing to wager every council person here is lighting Donald up, right? So I'm kind of interested in digging, because I do think there's some administrative stuff that just flows through the email that might make that stack a little larger than possible. Broken cart lid, broken cart, wheel off, you know, things of the such. It all flows through the email. One thing I'd like to ask is, you know, rather than using, you know, a resident's Facebook post or a call in to the city hall, can we do something a little bit more, you know, subjective? Can we maybe go do some observations together? You know, let's go look at it together, you know, as opposed to just allowing someone to make a blind post. I'm willing, I'm able.
I was gonna suggest anybody make a complaint, they take a picture, date it, and time, put the time on it, and send it to City Hall.
Yeah.
I mean, that verifies it. It's not hearsay. It's not just in the wind, you know?
I'm
That would be
I'm fully supportive of that. You know, we work very hard. You know, we put a lot of training in with our drivers. You know, we work very hard at having full-time drivers. For the most part, you know, surprisingly, our tenure in the residential group, which, you know, services your cities, over 3 years, which is very surprising. Our employees have been with the company for longer than 3 years. And, you know, we put a lot of time and effort into it. And, you know, I would love to go take a ride. You know, if anybody has time, anybody's interested, I'd love to meet with the chief.
I just showed him 3 cans this morning for the email 2 days ago.
You know, the can placement, again, you know, it's a little bit of a challenge. You know, I'd love to go through, and I'll tell everybody, you know, very directly, you know, our order to our guys is you return the can where you got it from. And, you know, again, it's a challenge. If they pull it off the curb, they should be putting it back up to the curb. You know, we get challenged sometimes in you know, kind of neighborhood type scenarios, subdivision type scenarios. You know, a lot of people don't leave it up to lip. They put it down into the street. You know, we kind of direct them to put it back there. We got to do something different. You know, I think it's kind of, you know, a little give and take. Where do we want the resident to put it? Where do we want the resident to put it? Sorry about that. Thank you. And, you know, where do we want our people to put it back? We're here for you guys. You know, I'm not disillusioned. I know who I work for. city of Broussard, and, really want to get to work and, get this done. I want it to be fair, though.
Jack, I would encourage you to share your contact information with the council by the end of the meeting.
Sure.
Or if you give it to our clerk or Callie, they can distribute it for you. I like your idea about spending some time so they can show you maybe some hands-on experiences that are negative from our perspective,
Sure.
and maybe that would help you improve.
We do have, just so you know, we have two supervisors that work out of the Lafayette office, working over this contract. We're meeting with our drivers multiple times a week. They're out here following behind the trucks. I get reports back. We talk about it a lot. We've talked about the car placement. Every driver that works for me right now has read your email about the placement and possibly getting a citation, for leaving it out there. And, they know, we want to work, and, it's what's most important.
Thank you for that. Other discussion from the council?
Call for the question.
We already did it, Angel. District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large,
Yay.
District 1, yes, District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
motion carries.
60 days, 90 days.
Ordinances for introduction. 4.1, ordinance number 21-675, an ordinance where the city of Broussard Main Street Corridor Overlay District is intended to promote innovative, attractive, and efficient use of land to encourage planned development. Do we have a motion to introduce?
I move.
We have a motion by David Bonet, Councilman Bonet, and a second by Councilman Gary. Our presenter tonight is Mr. Joseph Marina with the Planners Design Group. Up to bat for a second time. Thank you, Joseph.
Hello again. Hopefully I get 2 for 2 tonight. So at this point, the purpose of the ordinance is to support the downtown overlay. It's to support the master plan that Envision Broussard has put together. It's hard to breathe with the mask on. So at this point, I think everybody's pretty familiar with the Envision master plan and then the ordinance that we're trying to put in place for the downtown district to help basically conserve the downtown area. And if you look at the map on the screen, it shows the corridor that the ordinance is planned to govern, which is basically the downtown corridor, and that's from South Bernard Road all the way to Albertson's Parkway, Main Street, with the exception of a little stub out off of Morgan Street, not far, maybe just a block off of Main Street. So I think the ordinance itself pretty much helps explain the intent of everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and read that for you guys. So 1 is to encourage originality, flexibility, innovation in site planning and development. 2 is to discourage monotonous, unsightly, and inharmonious development. 3 would be to enhance the Main Street corridor, preserve and protect the civic investment by the city of Broussard in the said corridor. 4 is to enhance the appearance of economic viability of the city of Broussard, especially as it relates to adjacent established neighborhoods. And then 5, encourage the implementation of the city of Broussard Main Street Corridor Master Plan. So it's basically just more guidelines that's going to enable that's going to kind of direct the city to review new developments within this corridor, but by no means is it to kind of hinder development. It's in the grand scheme of things, as compared to other ordinances in other areas, it is less restrictive. but still that it gives you some sort of guidance that will help preserve downtown Broussard.
Tina, is there any public comment?
No public comments.
Open for council discussion? I'll add something to what you said.
Sure.
You know, we had a committee helped us, well, your company drafted this, but we had a council committee give some pretty good input onto and guidance onto where they wanted to end up. The intent of a lot of this was to encourage flexibility in design in the downtown area, but there was always chatter of not being overly restrictive to the property owner, just setting some basic guides for appropriate and inappropriate use of those spaces. So would you agree with that, Joe?
Absolutely. And I guess to add that, you know, there's always the opportunity for, I guess, unique scenarios. It's kind of hard to plan for every case, but if there's a unique scenario for a specific development, the way it's written, it would allow for that development to come in and potentially request a variance or a waiver for something that might be a hardship for them in development to follow this ordinance strictly.
Is there any further council discussion?
Call for the question.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large.
Yay.
District 1, yes. District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 4.2. Ordinance number 21-676, an ordinance amending the 2020-2021 operating budget of revenues and expenditures for $351,000 for the fiscal year 2020 LCDBG Sewer System Improvement Project in District 1, 2, and 4. Do we have a motion to introduce?
I move.
Our presenter tonight is our CFO, Mrs. Karen Fontenot.
So last year, we were awarded a grant from LCDBG. It is a federal grant that flows through to the state. It's primarily used for sewer rehab and sewer improvements. It's for $350,000. We have developed a project that we can pay with this grant. So at this point, we need to budget so we can, number one, expend the money, and two, bid it out and award a bid. The actual cost to the city is going to be about $1,000 because we are getting $350,000 from the state. So that is the only cost the city is going to come out of pocket.
And it's encouraging that this money will be spent across 3 districts. We know we have some freshwater infiltration into our sewer system in those areas, and that's the target. Improving that was the target of this grant and this project. And the council persons above those districts were involved at the time when the first testing was done. Is there any public comment, Tina?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Mel, we got a plan, some kind of plan ready?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it as that. That's your job.
This is Louisiana Community Development Block Grant. We have to spend the money within the target area, which is determined by income. So it's very specifically targeted, and that area is defined more by income than council district, anything like that. So whatever we do, and what we are doing is point repair type work. So we just go until we've used up all the money. And it helps with the oldest part of town. So.
Is there any further council discussion?
District 6,
Yay.
at large.
Yay.
District 1, yes. District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4, District 5,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 5.1, ordinance number 21-673, An ordinance of the City Council amending the zoning ordinance to include map D-9, portions of Youngsville Highway, LA Highway 89, Tennyson Drive, Gordon Crockett Drive, and Albertson's Parkway. Map E-10, portions of Hard to Farm Road, Albertson, Ambassador Caffrey Parkway, Jenna Dave Drive, and Sundown Drive. Map E-11, portions of Hard to Farm Road, Ambassador Caffrey Parkway, Jenna Dave Drive, Hannah Drive, North Riviera Road, Longleaf Drive, and Sundown Drive. Map E-12, portions of West Fairfield Drive, Sylvester Drive, Foxtail, Rattan Way, MacArthur Court, Tiger Court, Bronze Palm Way, Royal Palms Drive, Canary Palm Way, Ivory Palm Court, Bamboo Palm Way, and Windmill Palm Lane. Map F-10, portions of Hard to Farm Road, St. Deporah Street, Moulin Road, South Morgan Avenue, Longleaf Drive, and Sundown Drive. Map F-7, portions of North Eola Road and North Girard Road. Map G-7, portions of North Girard Road. Map H-8, portions of Bayou Tortue Road. Do we have a motion to adopt? So this is a ordinance for adoption. These same maps were presented at a previous council meeting and voted on to come to adoption. They also had passed through our planning commission and zoning commission previous to that. There has been no communication with anybody that disagrees with the maps from my office. Gerald, would you agree from your perspective?
I'm sorry.
This is for final adoption. They have been through the
Yes,
two
it's
public
already
meetings
been,
prior.
Notice of publication has been advertised, and the ordinance is ready for final adoption.
Thank you. Tina, is there any public comment?
No public comments.
Council discussion?
At large,
Yay.
District 1? Yes. District 2?
Yes.
District 3? District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6? Motion carries.
Item 5.2, ordinance number 21-674, an ordinance amending the 2020-2021 operating budget of revenues and expenditures for $57,940 for the 8-inch Waterline project along Albertson's Parkway to be reimbursed from the LGAP and CWEF grants. Do we have a motion to adopt?
I move.
So this ordinance is also up for final adoption, was introduced and approved at a previous council meeting. This is the two dead-end water lines that exist on Albertson's Parkway that will be connected under the railroad tracks to create a loop, which our fire department has been encouraging as an improvement to our water system in that area. And we are receiving as much money as we are spending or thereabouts on this project. So we need final approval so we can move forward with sending it to a contractor for completion. Is there any public comment, Tina?
No public comments.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 1? Yes. District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yay.
At large?
Yay.
Motion carries.
Item 6.1, adjourn the meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
Second.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5? Yes. District 6?
Yay.
At large?
Yay.
District 1? Yes. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you for coming tonight. Please drive safely.